So why am I showing you these pictures, you're probably asking. These people are a million miles away, I'm at school and I know how to read and write. The choices that they have in life are so much more limited than the choices that you have. Just because you are able to read, write and count properly, you will be able to choose whatever you want to do with your life. You have the luxury of choice. Many people don't. In a country like South Africa, as I said, I'm a photographer and a writer. I'm also the author of 2 books, of which I'm going to speak to you about a little later. But I wasn't always one. And it took many years of self-discovery, which resulted in me being able to find my passions and enabled me to make accurate decisions, which ultimately led me to becoming a photographer and a writer, an author, which I'm extremely passionate about. And even though I'm going to be telling you my story over the next while, I don't think we're too dissimilar in the sense that you have decisions to make. You're now all in high school. Some of you are thinking about possibly what careers you're going to start thinking about or what you're going to be doing after school. Some of you are going to be thinking about what subjects you're going to be taking next year. Some of you are thinking how you're not going to fall asleep during this talk, but they're all big decisions, of which, so who are you? What makes you unique as an individual? What makes you slightly different to your friends? Our values are basically our foundations. They are our core beliefs. And you might all think that you're very, very, very similar to your best friends and your brothers and your sisters. But if you take the time out to find out what your values are, you will realize that that's what makes you slightly different. That's what makes you unique as a person. The thing about self-belief is that it can't be taught to you. If you take the time out to learn about who you are as unique individuals, or take the time to learn about yourself, your belief in yourself will continue to grow. More often than not, we compare ourselves to others, but when we're comparing ourselves to others, we're comparing ourselves to their talents. And we ultimately fall short, making us feel insecure about ourselves. If you learn about who you are, you will get to understand what your talents and what your abilities are, and therefore your self-belief will continue to grow. If you do not believe in yourselves, how can you expect people to believe in you? And why did I make that decision to become a photographer? The reason is this, is that more often than not, we always concentrate on what can go wrong. We look at the situation and go, but what happens if this goes wrong? What am I going to do if this goes wrong? Or I'm not going to do it because this could go wrong. What happens if it can go right? What happens if you take every situation and instead of concentrating on the negatives, you flip the coin and you look at the positive aspect of it? And that was what I did. You guys have the luxury of choice. You are able to do whatever you want to do with your life. You have the gift of imagination. You have tools like goal setting, visualization, and affirmation to help you realize your dream. Take the time to learn about who you are as a unique individual. Find your passions and set your goals, and I promise you, the rewards that you receive will be so much larger than you can ever expect. Thank you very much.